Good evening and welcome to our 9 p.m. English news brought to you live by RTD. Premature. Quote, signature of a social convention for the dockers.
Ramadan Kareem and welcome to our newsroom. The Republic of Djibouti has achieved last Thursday a large social act in favor of the dock workers, obtained thanks to the will and the commitment of the President of the Republic into the charitable aid of the SDTV company in which Mr. Al-Hamoud is in charge of. The convention has been signed by the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, the representative of the society of the company Al-Hamoud, the director of the poor Saada Margele, and as well as the institution which manages the dockers. Thanks to this convention, which represents $3 million, the dockers will benefit for the first time the social benefits and therefore of a future retirement type pension thanks to the agreements concluded. By the dock workers in age of retirement will benefit from a single allowance for dismissal 640,000 francs Djibouti each. This represents a donation of $3 million for the 837 dockers who will retire.
At the signing ceremony of the convention, which embodied the social act for the benefit of the dockers, the Prime Minister welcomed this agreement and thanks to the partners.
The Minister of Budget, Mr. Roble Ahmed, has chaired this morning in his cabinet a meeting of restoring a feasibility study on the establishment of a structure for the financial application within the INAP. This center will be crafted to the quantities already existing, which the material vocation will be provided the specific training on financial and economic governance. The realization of this study has been entrusted to the consultant of the Ivorian INA under a partnership convention which binds this refund and the Ministry of the Budget in terms of capacity building dedicated to the vocational training.
The sending of Djiboutian teachers to Kuwait, it is the object of today's meeting that took place between the Minister of Labour, Hassan Idris Samiri, and the Ambassador of Kuwait accredited to Djibouti, Mr. Hassan Hussein Al-Gabadi. It is here that the proposal have been issued between the two responsible during the first meeting in February of last year. At this meeting, the Kuwaitian diplomat has announced to the Minister of Labour that the Kuwaitian will like to strengthen the cooperation with Djibouti in the exchange of workers. In the framework, Kuwait was prepared to hire Djiboutian youth literal in Arabic and Francophone in order to teach in Kuwait. A protocol of agreement defining the provision of modality to send teachers will be prepared by the Department of the Labour. The responsibility for the reform of the administration, in addition to the Minister of the Labour, the advisor to the Minister, Mr. Osman Ali Mohammed, took part in this meeting.
The people rejoice in the blessed month of Ramadan, which is an opportunity for every Muslim to repent and take advantage of all the divine blessings. As in the previous year, the month of Ramadan is in the middle of the summer heat wave, which requires the inhabitants to consume fruits and vegetables to be better rehydrated after having broken the fast. It is for this purpose that at the first hour of the day, the people are crowded in the market of the capital, and this year there is not an unreasonable increase in the prices of fruits and vegetables. The blessed month of Ramadan is an opportunity for the vendor of the fruits and vegetables who sees increase their sale a little more than the other months of the year. To this, the variation in the price of fruits and vegetables during the month of Ramadan, a team of the RTD went to see firsthand the situation of prices for fruit and vegetables. Apparently, the necessary price of fruit and vegetables remained unchanged for most of the fruit and vegetables compared to the other months of the year. The price of the dates 350 francs per kilo, the croissant 140 francs have seen a slight increase, and the watermelon, the most consumed by the consumers during the month of Ramadan, is up to 140 francs, while only the price of lentils knows a remarkable increase to 480 francs per kilo. The different interveners to the micro did not complain much this year of the price because almost all the fruits and vegetables were kept the same price.
And moving to the interior region, in Dikil, where the test of OTA for the 5th grade students to move forward to the 6th year grade have started yesterday morning in all schools of the region of the unit. This year, 112 candidates divided into 8 centers are taking the test. A delegation of the Minister of Education was present to oversee the conduct of the OTA, which is a passage required between the primary school and secondary school, accompanied by the local officers and officials of the region. Education prefect of Dikil, Mr. Mohammed Sheko, has visited the center of examination to see up and close the good conduct of this test in Dikil. Let us recall that this year, thanks to the decentralization, each region will manage the entry, deliberation, the correction, and the proclamation of the result of this test.
Like the other regions of the country, today the OT test for primary students took place in 4 centers provided for this effect in Ali Sabih region. Two other have taken place in the sub-prefectures of Ali Ade and Hol. The so-called examination centers have opened their doors at 6:30 a.m. A total of 793 candidates were registered in the entire region of Ali Sabih. A delegation led by the prefect of the region, Mohammed Abdullah Sowe, composed of the president of the regional council, Umar Ahmed Wais, and the inspector responsible for this test in the region of Ali Sabih for the Benfab, and educational advisors have toured in order to oversee the good conduct of the examination. It should be noted that the novelty of this year, the correction of the examination of the OT, the interred notes, and the proclamation of this test are decentralized and will take place at Ali Sabih at the headquarters of the regional inspection.
And for Tajora, the OTI test took place at 6:30 a.m. where a total of 804 candidates were registered in the entire region. A delegation led by the prefect of the region, Mr. Abdul Malik Muhammad, composed of the president of the regional council, Mr. Abdul Umar, the inspector responsible for this test in the region of Tajora for the month 4, and education advisor have inspected the conduct of this test. And the rest of the region corrected the examination has been decentralized.
In the framework of its program for the strengthening of the Neighborhood 7's Association's capacities, the Agency of Djibouti for Social Development (ADDS) has organized on May 25 a closing ceremony in partnership with the Center for Community Development of Neighborhood 7, closing ceremony for 13 community projects funded through the Community Development Fund realized with the support of the World Bank. The Community Development Fund is a small fund dedicated to the Neighborhood 7 in order to support the activities carried out by the associations. The purpose of the funded activities is to improve the impact and sustainability of the program or investment. The officials have taken in turn the floor, congratulating the 13 associations for the efforts they have presented for obtaining the latest results. The Director of Social Development, Mr. Diriye Farah Sultan, has also benefited from this opportunity to raise awareness and to encourage associations to participate in the call for proposal of the second phase of the FDC.
For the first time, the medical team of Balbala Hospital under the name of Sheko has carried out an operation, a pediatric surgery. Yesterday morning in the operation block of the hospital, this operation was possible thanks to the Copan surgeon specialist in pediatric surgery. The child has been referred from the health post of Duda for a malformation of abdominal occlusion. In this sentence, the newborn has been able to benefit an exploration of parachemical type of abdominal abdominal ultrasound performed by Dr. Chimiro Aden, pediatrician and neurology of the Hospital of Balbala. Following the diagnosis of the diverticulus Meckel, complicate the intestine hyperplasia, a surgical intervention has been scheduled to do a repair of the abdominal wall for the newborn. The surgery lasted for an hour. General anesthesia was a success, where it has allowed the newborn to have an optical gastric emptying. Finally, these operations are in the framework of improving the quality of the health and surgical material that the Minister of Health is undertaking in order to enhance the offer to the Djiboutian population.
And now the Hajj of 2017 this year is upcoming. The Minister of Muslim Affairs and Culture has launched this morning the pre-registration of the Hajj for this year 2017. This operation is held simultaneously in the 5 neighborhoods of the country of Djibouti in 5 regions of the interior. This pre-registration has seen participated by the director of the Hajj and also director of the Muslim Affairs, Mr. Osman Awali, and the director of the regional office, Abdurrahim Mohammed Hamid. This meeting began yesterday and will last until June 1st. This year, the numbers of the Djiboutian pilgrims will be increased to 1,100 pilgrims, where last year 880 pilgrims have done their duty. And similar to last 2 years, a draw will be held to select the lucky pilgrims to do the Hajj this year. Let's recall that last year the airplane ticket was $100, as it was the first flight of Air Djibouti.
The Islamic Institute in Djibouti has won the 3rd place of the 6th edition Saudi competition called Sumuk. This competition organized each year by University of Imam Muhammad bin Saudi, with the participation of hundreds of university students and students of the institute abroad. The ceremony of the presentation of reward has been chaired by the rector of the University Al-Iman in Riyadh, as well as the member of the community responsible for the organization of this competition. Also, the students of Islamic Institute of Djibouti were among the winners of this competition. The dean of this institute for the abroad student, Dr. Abdullah bin Hadid al-Sulami, had held the student of Islamic Institute in Djibouti who participated in the competition. He had addressed the greeting to the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, and to the people of Djibouti on the occasion of the blessed month of Ramadan and the celebrating of 40th anniversary of the national independence of Djibouti.
And as usual, the upcoming celebrations of the 40th anniversary of the country's independence, the RTD covers a reportage on the evaluation of some sector of the country. This time it is on the role of women in independence. Here is Saeed Mohammed telling us more.
And now let's move on to international. As the GA leader arrived after the summit in Sicily, some of 1,500 migrants have been taken ashore in Naples by the charity Doctor Without Borders. It is a stark reminder of the migration issue that Rome wanted to highlight during the G7, deliberating choosing a hilltop location overlooking the Mediterranean. Some 45 children and 140 women are amongst the migrant rescue. The 2 police are also being thrown ashore. The latest rescue came as NGO complained that even though the G7 was held close to where so many migrants have joined, the summit produced no concrete solution. Italy is one of the countries still struggling to cope with influx of immigration. Immigration is really a big issue because we are in a situation in which 65 million people are displaced or refugees. That is the biggest number even since the Second World War. Italy has unsuccessfully pushed for the summit to agree on more legal options for migrants, focus on the food security to data population, setting off of the dangerous journey to Europe. That's all for this evening news. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a good evening.